Good evening, everybody. Hope we had a wonderful day. Um, I'm sure you guys did. And for those that had stressful days, hope it will get better. So we have been taking data analytics, and we did functions on Tuesday. That's our makeup class for last week Saturday, and it was pretty an interesting time. So we were supposed to finish functions on that Tuesday, but we could not. So I was just going to do the last function that we're working on. Then we'll go into data cleaning proper. You can check your portal. I sent the file, the Excel file for today's class, the data cleaning. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just go and do the practical. So just to teach you guys what you need to know. Let's not focus too much on the slides. So I won't be opening the teaching material, the slides. I'm just going to be teaching you guys proper first. So we're going to do, first of all, we're going to do the XLOOKUP. I think we stopped at VLOOKUP, the errors, last class. So I'm just going to do the XLOOKUP and we'll just end it there. And we'll start the data cleaning because this week we're supposed to start data cleaning this week. Let me just show you guys my system. Okay. So I'll run through the lookups quickly once again. I didn't do the XLOOKUP because we didn't have time in last class. So like I said, it's from 2021 Excel. If you just update your Excel, you'll be able to use XLOOKUPs. XLOOKUP is just the beta version of VLOOKUP. I won't go into, if you have time again, we'll go into the errors of the VLOOKUPs that we're trying to look at the last time. So this is just this VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, then samples of SLOOKUPs. Okay, so let me just run quickly through the VLOOKUP. I was saying some things, and I think people are not seeing my. Okay, let me just do my own screen so that you guys can have a little bit of that, so you can know what I'm having here, what I'm typing. Okay, so if we go here, this is an example of VLOOKUP. So we're looking at Ali Fritz. So I'm just going to do this quickly. Then we'll go into data cleaning that we are going to do today. So that one's going to be a more interesting class. Is data cleaning. So we are leaving functions. But understand that functions is key. It's very essential. Okay, I'm sure you guys can hear me better now. I've been on stereo since and not hands-free. So like I said, so we're running through VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and what we're going to be doing, we're going to run through that very quickly. Then we're going to do data cleaning, which is the topic for today, which is data cleaning. We could not finish functions at the last class. So we spent 2 hours, the whole 2 hours on functions, but we could still not finish functions. So you guys still have to do more research on that. What's it called? The file for data cleaning, I've dropped it on the platform, so you guys can just check it out and be a part of it. Just follow along as we go. So VLOOKUP. So VLOOKUP, like I say, is just reference. You're looking at for something inside something. Like now, this is Ali Fritz. Now you're looking at salesperson commission. So you're looking at what is Ali Fritz sales commission? Yeah, that's what you are simply looking at. What is the sales commission? That's what we are trying to find out. What is the sales commission? And because this is easy to see the answer, because and for functions, the first thing you do is you go to your equals to sign, then you go You can see it opens it up. So what is your reference material? What is your lookup value? What are you looking up? You're looking up this guy here, Ali Fritz. That's what you're trying to get is sales commission. What is Ali Fritz sales commission? Instead of checking the whole data set. So that's why you have H3. So that's a lookup value. So you go, comma. Then what's the next thing? Your table array. Where are you checking the lookup from? What is your table array? Where are you checking the lookup from? What is your table that you're checking that details? Where do you need that information from? What do you need that value from? That's your table array. So your table array is all of this. Control down. Like I said the last time, you can do it straightforward instead of doing Control Shift down and things like that. Because if you do Control Shift down, then you Control Shift right, you go right. So if you go back up, you see that it's B3 to F24. B3 column F24. That means the entire table, which I showed you guys the 3 styles. The 3 styles, you can do it in last class. You can either use your cursor to highlight the whole thing. You can do Control Shift down and Control Shift right. Or you can simply put the first one, which is, this is B3. You scroll down, the last one is F24. This is 24th row. This is F24. So you can do that and you get. So now we are saying where, and you put your comma. Now, what's your column index? Your column index, you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. For those that were in last class, for those that are not there, it means you're numbering your column from the beginning, from your left to your right. Now, this is why XLOOKUP was made, because VLOOKUP has limitations in the fact that your lookup value must be in your left. VLOOKUP will start from your left to your right. If you put this salesperson in the right, it will not work. You have an error. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's go. So that's 5. That's your column index number. Then lastly, are you looking for approximate match or you're looking for the exact match? And like I said, if you're looking up for a lookup value, it's always the exact match, except you're working with range of numbers, or we are working with data sets that you're looking for something that looks like something, but you are looking for the exact. So you click exact match, which will put false there. So close parentheses, enter. Now look at this now here. You have it correct. That's Ali Fritz is what? $1,239. So that's as simple as that. Let me show you guys. You can look at it up here. You can look at it up down here. So if you look up you can see Ali Fritz, that's H3, that's your lookup value. Then B3 to F3. Then your column, which one are you looking for? You're looking for is commission, which is in column 5, then false. Like I said, also, like now I'm used to all those things, so I don't use false. I use 0 or 1. 0 means false. That means exact match. If you put 0 here now, still the same thing. 1 means approximate match. So we're using exact match. So that's just VLOOKUP. We also have this file sent last week. Yeah, I think on Tuesday was sent. So now let's go. And like I said VLOOKUP is vertical lookup. Vertical lookup. While HLOOKUP is horizontal lookup. So you can see that. So most times, most of the data sets are always vertical. So now that's why we have HLOOKUP for horizontal lookup. Now see this now. You will hardly see data sets that looks like this. You will hardly see data sets that looks like this. So just go with me, go along with me, watch class over and over again. You see the promptings of Excel easily you will get it. You just have to be sure what you're looking for, what you're doing. So now we're doing alifrit, but now we're using X H lookup, that's horizontal lookup, because the data set is horizontal, which is very rare. Most times you use VLOOKUP. But now we have the new one, X lookup. The reason why I'm spending so much time on VLOOKUP is because most of you guys Excel, we have VLOOKUP. It might not have X lookup because X lookup is from 2021. So you can just update your Excel to use S lookup. S lookup is easier than VLOOKUP. So the last class we have treated VLOOKUP over and over again. I'm just showing you guys, just doing a run through before I go into X lookup. So let's go again now. We have our equals to sign, that's functions. We're going to draw a formula, which is the function here. Then what's the first thing? Like I said, this guy here is the first thing. Open parentheses first. Let's look up. So click your tab to open parentheses. So the first thing, look up value, arithmetic. So your comma. Now you're looking at what is your table array. Table array is all of this. All of this. So my table array is C2. So axis. So you can see that it has picked everything. So C2 to axis is my table array. Now the question is, what is your row index? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because I'm looking for commission, that is my row index. That's 5. So finally, exact match or false match. Exact match, that's false, or approximate match. That's exact match, 0. So alifrit, where are you? This is alifrit here. You can see alifrit here, 1239. So that is it with VLOOKUP and XLOOKUP. I'm just going to common errors of VLOOKUP, but I'll just mention one of them. It has to be left to right. Left to right. Secondly, in VLOOKUP, you have to have not, you must, okay, no, I know I'll do. That's what I'll do with that. I'll give you guys questions on that. So let me just download that. So now we're going to XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP is the better version of VLOOKUP. Now we can see now that we have VLOOKUP here, we have XLOOKUP here. XLOOKUP is VLOOKUP without the limitations that VLOOKUP has. So now if you want to do VLOOKUP here, alifrit sales commission. Now notice very well that this data set is no longer, salesperson is no longer in the left. The reference value, this one, is no longer in the left, is in the right. VLOOKUP will not work. It won't work. Because if you now say, okay, let's try it. Let's try it. So let's go this. Let's go to VLOOKUP tab. Now what's our lookup value? We have this, comma. What's our table? What are we dealing with here? B3 to what? So let me see. Let me be sure how many rows. So 24. That's B3 to F24. So B3 F24. That's picked everything. So then what do we do again? Now our column index is 1, 2, 3, 4. Is 4. But because it's left to right, it should be -1, -2. So let us use 4 there. Then this, let's see what this will give us. Can you see? Error. A value is not available to the formula or function. So VLOOKUP will not work. Why? Because your first material, which is you're looking for this year, must be in the left. That first reference, that your lookup value that you're looking for, that's the limitation of VLOOKUP. It must be in the left. It cannot be in this last column in the right. So that is why we now use XLOOKUP. Now you will now see the places where XLOOKUP is far easier than VLOOKUP. So let's go now. We have this. We have XLOOKUP. Okay. Hope my Excel have not gone back. Let me see. Because I updated my Excel recently for XLOOKUP. Oh, okay. Let's continue. So our lookup value is this H8, comma. I'm not having this prompt. I don't know. As my Excel has it gone back to the previous version? I don't think so. Should be giving that. All right, let me continue. Let's see. So now our table array, yours is it's XLOOKUP. XLOOKUP does not use the entire table array. It doesn't use the entire table array. It just simply asks you that this your first value, which is H8, which is your reference value, which row or which column is it? Instead of the entire thing, XLOOKUP we just use this one. This is just this one. The one that Alifris is, which is F3 to F24. So after that, it now asks you for your reference array. That means your reference point, which is you're looking for commission, which is this A3. Now, if it works now, that means I don't have it here. That means my Excel has backdated itself to the previous version. For those that have VLOOKUP, that has XLOOKUP on their systems, you can just try this out. So I don't have it here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have it here. I don't know why. Oh, my new Excel has probably my system has removed the update. So it's not here. My VLOOKUP is not here. So you can check your functions. If you click on FX here, just check which function you're looking for. Go to and scroll down. So I don't have it there. So you can check on your system. You can try what I try if you have the XLOOKUP here. So before the next class, I will try and update it again to make sure I have XLOOKUP. I used this recently. I think I used it last 2 weeks. I don't know why I don't have it here. Probably in my Excel. I don't know. So just check that on your system. If you have your XLOOKUP, use the same formula and you will have it there. All right, so we'll go back to that later. I hope to update this for tomorrow. So I will just show you guys the XLOOKUP, how easier it's easier than VLOOKUP. And that's why I was trying my best. I keep pushing VLOOKUP and showing you guys how to use VLOOKUP, because most of you guys Excel, we have only VLOOKUP. Most phones have XLOOKUP except you update to the latest Excel version. And as we know in Nigeria, many people don't use the original distance, so you hardly update. So I will try and check my updates, and we'll go back to this later. So now let's go to today's class, the focus of today's class. So let me do this. We've treated functions. We've done all manners of functions. We've done the aggregation functions. We have done data clean. We use the trim. We use the proper. We've done the statistics. We have done the sum ifs and stuff like that. We have done logical functions, which is the if, the ifs, the nested if. We've done the lookups, the VLOOKUP, the HLOOKUP. Which other one did we do? Yes, and we did I think that's all. That's all. So you guys people that were not in the last class, go through that class again. The beginning was not there was an error in recording, but the most important part from when I started showing guys my screen was recorded. So you can just go through the last class. It was uploaded yesterday. Go to the last class to catch up with that. So I will check my Excel. We'll come back to XLOOKUP tomorrow. So because I have to teach you guys XLOOKUP for those that their Excel has been updated, so you can easily use XLOOKUP. Immediately I clicked my SLOOKUP and it was not showing me a prompt. I knew that it was a mistake. Something has happened somewhere. So I don't have. So if you put VLOOKUP now, you can see that the prompt is there. If you click on sum, you can see the prompt is there. If you click on if, average, and the rest, the sum is there. All right. So let me go to this class, which is the most important one. I won't save this. Don't save. Data cleaning. Let me go edit. Okay. All right. So this is our data set. Can somebody tell me where I stopped? Where you guys head me to? This is problem of having my full screen. If anytime I'm showing my full screen, I can't see the prompt, so I don't know when I'm disconnected or I'm connected. But if I'm showing just my Excel window now, if there are prompts in Excel, you will not see it. So that's why I'm showing my entire screen. So can someone tell me where you last heard me? Where you last heard me? Can I have that? Can you guys hear me? Hello? Please, can you open their mics? Probably their mics are not open. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, I can hear
So
you.
where did you last hear? Where did you last hear me? What was the last thing I said?
You were talking about when you update your Excel for the X lookup tomorrow.
Wow. Oh, okay. All right. I've spoken like few minutes after that. It's okay. You can mute your mic. I've spoken a lot after that. So let me just go back to what I was saying before I noticed that I'm disconnected. Okay, let me go back to. Let me not save this. So I'll share my screen. And I share my screen. I don't see you guys. And I share my full screen. I don't see this. So sometimes I don't know when I'm no longer connected. This is why I see. Enter and share my screen. If I come back, I have to come back here. So I said, okay, I will update I'll check my Excel, make sure it's updated so I can do that VLOOKUP, that X lookup again. So what I went to data cleaning. So this is the data I'm using for data cleaning. So now I said something that you can see that there's a lot of problems in this data. So data cleaning is just getting data ready for analysis. That means the check and balances are there, everything is working fine, and you are having it ready for analysis. That is what data cleaning is. And so what you do is you check on the errors. If there are errors, you check. And I mentioned before, I think I was disconnected. I noticed I was disconnected that I don't want to show my slides. I'm not even using my slides now. I just want to show you guys the practical aspect of it. So I'll send my slides so you guys can easily understand it. So I'm just doing the practical aspect of it. So you check for errors. You can see this ash everywhere. You check for blanks. You can see this is a blank here. Now, what do you do to blanks? What you do to blank is you either delete the row or you replace cell. So when it comes to blank, you either delete this entire row or you replace the cell. Now, this is talking about profit. You can't delete the entire row because it's sensitive data. So you can replace cell. So you do that, then you check alignment. Alignment or formatting. I know I did formatting. I think I did formatting last week. How to format all of this. So you check formatting. You can see that in some places are I. This place is I. This place are regular sizes. So you can see that something is wrong there. So you check formatting too. So you check errors, you check blanks, then you check duplicates. That's something you have to do again. You check on duplicates. Very, very important. There are probably some people put the data twice. You have to check on duplicate. If it's the same thing, that means you remove one of it. So you check on duplicate. So you can see that this one now, you then check on formulas. Now you can see this. Let me click on this. This is equals to H3 divided by G3. That's the formula. But when it got here, something is wrong. It's not showing any value. That means something is wrong somewhere. So check on formulas. You can see blanks. You can see alignments. This is not aligned very well. There's space there. You can see this is scattered. You can see that this one is not okay. So when it comes to data cleaning, it's easy to teach. It's easy to teach because it's the same process you do for any kind of data. It's just that sometimes when you have voluminous data, you spend more time cleaning that data set. But it's so easy to teach. It's not so difficult. Like it's not like functions that some people do not understand immediately. So now I'll be asking questions. So let me put this. And just let me duplicate this first. So how you duplicate? Just control and drag. So you click your control and you drag it. So I've duplicated that. Let me duplicate it one more time. Control drag. Okay, you can rename your sheet too. Click on rename. Let me just do this.
Sorry, sir, we can't see your screen again.
No. It must be your network. Yeah, it's your network. Because I'm not disconnected. So far you can hear me, you can see my screen. So far you can hear me, you can see my screen.
Sir. I can see the screen.
So far you can hear me, you can see my screen. That means it's your network. Okay, so just click on control and just drag it. Let me put this up. Let's see. Click on control and drag it. So that's duplicating the files. So like I said now, errors, that's what you need to check in data cleaning. That means you are cleaning something, you are taking away the field or the debt or the things that are wrong somewhere. So in data, you take away the errors. the blanks, either delete row or replace cell. Make sure it's aligned properly, formatted properly, remove the duplicate, check the formulas and things like that. So I'll remove, let me just remove this. So yeah, so now the first thing we're going to do is let us align it. Let's do the right formatting for it, the right formatting. So what I do, let's do select all, that's Control A. So you go to format, you can see format here. Let me drop this down. No. Okay. So you can see format here. You can see auto fit row and auto fit column width. First, let me do this. Let me make sure. Now, for this hash, it's not that something's wrong with this, but because it's not big. If you draw it like this, when your cursor is on black, draw it. You have that. You can see now it's okay now. So let me draw it more. Let me draw this more. So you can see all of this. Okay. So let's see. Let's draw this. Draw this. Okay, that's fine. Okay. So this G. Okay, I think I can see everything now. Everything is working. Everything is showing. The ones that I should show. The ones that I should not show are not showing. So this is it. Okay, profit margin. My profit margin is not, it didn't write the entire thing. So I can see it now. Let me reduce this. No, so I can see it properly. Let me not reduce it. Okay. All right. So this is it. What you do first is just start, make it bigger, so I can accommodate all the characters. So I think it has accommodated all characters now. Yes. So what I did, so Control A, the first thing you want to auto fit it, Control A, that's select all. You go to format. So auto fit the row height. Click on that. You can see. So you can also auto fit the row width. So if I auto fit the column width, row height, column width. So perfect. I'm sure you guys saw that. So what I just did was just selected all. A shortcut for it is very long shortcut. I think it's Control H V, but I don't think you need to start. So just go the format, auto fit row height, auto fit column width. Makes it perfect. So that's the first thing you do. So now the second thing I want to do is we want to replace. I don't like how long these ones are. I'm seeing some values that I don't think it should be here, because if the client name amazon.com/inc into parentheses, open parentheses, XNAX, column AMZ ZN or ZN is not needed. So what I want to do is I want to remove all of these things that are in parentheses. Parentheses is open brackets and close brackets. Of course, bracket is not like this, so it's called parentheses. So like the bracket that is like this. So this is parentheses. Let me just type. This is parentheses. This is what I call parentheses. Open, close. That's parentheses. Let me delete this back. All right. So what do you do? Select where you're trying to work on. Go to find and select. There's this find and select here. Find and select. Then go to replace. You want to replace something. So what do you want to replace? What is it finding? Find what? You're finding open parentheses, any character inside, close parentheses. So what are you replacing with? I'm replacing with nothing. So let's replace all. So as I said, we made 31 replacements. So click OK, close. You can see now that your client is clean now. There's no all of those open, those grammars that are at the back, because amazon.com/inc, it's a client. It's very much okay. Very much okay. Now, so you can now see that all of this is in uppercase. Whereas all the others are in normal case. So what you do a proper case. So let's go. Now you need functions for this. Now I thought proper and trim in the last class. Yes, I think the last class. I even did that in 2 classes ago. So let's make it now. Let's insert. Let me insert this. I'm inserting this. You can insert with Control Shift plus. So highlight, insert. So let me call this my clients. So you're using functions now. What are you trying to achieve? You want to achieve that this becomes a proper case. So what do? You go proper. You can see ominous. So proper tab. Select it, which is C3. Close parentheses. Enter. Now you can see now that the first letter of each has become what? Has become capital letter. And as usual, fill it. You can see now I filled it. As usual, I'll fill that. So somebody's this thing is open. Please close your earpiece. So this is it. The same thing as this, but what we did proper case. Now somebody will now say, oh, I have these two now. Let me just delete this one. I now do highlight and delete. You can see now that the one I did not delete as ref. That means you cannot just delete like that because this new column is referencing that first column because it was formula we used. We used the function proper case, which we referenced the cells, that column. So if you delete just like that, you have this error called ref. So now let's go back. Ctrl Z. So what do we now have to do now? We have to copy this. Copy. So you go up here, you can click it, paste as values, paste as value and number, paste as value and sort. So paste as values. So when you paste as values, it does not reference that one again. So paste as values. I pasted it as value. Okay, so let me delete this. So when I delete this now, you can see that it's not there. It's not giving me ref. Delete. It's not giving me ref again. Let me go back. For those that are not following me, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. Have I pasted as value yet? Copy all of this. I did copy. Now, if I delete this now, if I just delete this now, if I right click and delete this, okay, I've already copied it. Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z. All right, let me start from here. So, yeah. So if I highlight this, delete, you will see ref because it's referencing a column you deleted. You can't delete like that. So let's go back. What you did first is that you copy this. You want to make this an independent value that is not referencing this. So copy, go to paste options, then you see paste values. So you paste that values. So if you now click this now and delete it, there's no problem now because it's no longer referencing it. It's a value on its own. So you have to be very careful in doing that. So what do you want? So what do we do here? Function. What function? The trim function. Let me bring this. So function equals to brings you the trim function. What do we want to do? We want to trim. Trim. open parentheses, which text? I'm trimming this. So close parentheses, enter. You can see now that there's no space in front of your bill any longer. There's no space in front of your bill any longer. So then you fill it. Can you see? There's no space. All this middle space, this Denzel Florence middle space taken off, corner wise, front space taken off, all of this space taken off, taken off, taken off. But now we have another problem. And what's the problem? It is not proper. That means look at this bill now. You have Smith, capital letter ITH. You have this one Ken, capital letter KEN, while the rest is capital letter and small letter. This is not proper. So we have to make it proper. So what do we do? Let me F2. Okay. So let's F2, or you can edit here. So what do you want to do? You want to trim and make it proper. So trim proper, open parentheses, and do it up here too. So you can see trim it, make it proper, then trim it. So you have trim, open parentheses, proper, open parentheses, D3, close that D3, then close it up. So enter. You can now say that Bill Smith is normal now. So if you fill it, it's fine. I want you guys to do something. If you guys are having a challenge, just write your questions down so I don't forget, so we can go through them at the end. Because it's very important. The reason why you guys are in live class is just because of guys ask questions and guys will see it sorted. So we are now seeing now that we have this. Let me remove this from clients. Those have clients now. Clients. So client contact. So the next thing is you want to remove this. Or if you delete this, you know this one is referencing this. So the first thing is to copy this, paste it as values, pasted as values, then select this one, delete. I'm sure you guys are following me. And what did you do? All we did was just remove those spaces. That is everything that we did there. So we made it proper. What does proper means? Making it like look like this. Uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. So uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, uppercase, lowercase, uppercase, lowercase. Now, what do we have to do next? So we have checked this. This is fine. The date is fine. The client is fine. The contact is fine. Now, department. This department looks funny. It looks very funny. We have Cloud Tech, Texas, Strategy, New York. No, this should be different because this is department. So I want to separate department and I want to separate region because this is region. So let me go here because sometimes you have to do region by profit and things like that, department by profit once you are doing analysis. So you need, let's separate department from region. So let me insert. So insert, let me call this one region. So that's region. Now what do you do here? How do you separate this Cloud Tech from Texas? You can start giving yourself work and start pressing Texas, New York, Florida, Texas, and you don't need all of that. So what you do is select this, go to data, and go to text to columns. So you want to separate text, you want to separate them and make them columns. You want to separate them by columns. So you click on text to column, you can see this pop up. So it's asking how should he separate it? By delimiter. Delimiter means characters such as comma, tabs. Fixed means you are automatically moving your divider around. So you click on next. You can see now what should he separate it by? You separate it by tab. By many times you will separate by comma. You see most data sets will give you comma. That's why you are separating by comma. Some can be, most are comma. Some can be full stop. But in this one, you are separating by orders because it's not a comma. And what is the orders? This separating by this. Next. So where should he take this destination? Okay, let's see. Data is area, replace it. Okay. Cloud tech, versions. Now, the problem. I did not select destination. Let's go back. Go to data, go to text column. Go to text to columns. So orders, undercase, next. Now let me choose my destination. My destination, this is my destination. C O E to F. Okay. Let me see. Let me see. There's data there. You want to replace it? Okay. I have this now. I have Cloud Tech here, which is New York here. I like what I'm seeing. What I'm seeing. Okay, so what I have to do is that I have to create more of this. Control Z. Let's go. So let's insert here. Insert. Let's go. So text column here. So not to. Now this is what let me show you guys what happened. So I've separated this now. Let me show you guys what happened. Control Z, Control Z. All right. Text to columns, delimiter underscore. When you are choosing your destination, you can see this. The destination is telling me that the destination is ES1. So if you go here now, you know that this is 2. This is column. This is 2. This is row 2, not 1. So change this to 2. Then go to next. Go to your finish. You want to replace? Yes, I want to replace. So department, then region. So whatever you are separating anything. Let me see if I can separate by, so I can show you guys how it looks when you're separating by. Let me go back again. Take this off. Take this off. So I'm separating by fixed width. Next, you can see fixed width now. It's asking me to move where I'm separating it by. So if you have consistency in the words, you can say, oh, cloud, whatever, cloud space, whatever, cloud space, whatever. You can choose this to move your width. If I click this now, let me do cloud, space after cloud. Next. Next. Finish. You can see it now. Cloud, tech, tax, everything is scattered because this cloud was where I put my ruler, my divider. So it doesn't make sense having that. So let me go back. Let me go back now. So if you say, let's now do text column again, but now we are using delimiter, we are using underscore, that's the next, then we're going to true, then we use finish. You can see that it's all separated. So now we have region. So cloud tech, department, strategy operations, cloud tech, big data, all of that. Region, Texas, New York, all of this. So that's it. So we've separated that. We have divided it into two. So what else do we need to check? I told you guys, very important. Do I need to save this, right? Okay, let me just save it. So what do we need to check again? Let's go to duplicate values. Very important. So you select all, Control A. You're checking duplicate values. So you go to Control A, that's select all. You can see remove duplicates here. So click on remove duplicates. It's asking you which duplicate should you pick. Yes. Yeah, my data has headers. My data has headers. Okay. Can you see now? It said it has removed 3 duplicates were found. Very important. You must remove duplicates. So 3 duplicates were found. Now let's go back again. I've removed it. Okay, let's go there. Remove duplicates. Yes, my data has headers. 3 duplicates were found. So just select all and remove duplicates. So what else do we have? We have just 2 things left. These blanks. Like I said, it is the same thing for all data sets. To clean a data set, you have to remove blanks, remove duplicates, check formulas that are incorrect, check spellings, check formatting, check errors, and things like that. That is what you're just doing. That's just data cleaning. You're just cleaning data. So blanks, let's remove blanks now. When you want to remove blanks, you do your find and select. Let me make sure all. So let's go to home, find and replace. So you go to special, Let me go back again. Click all of this. Go to find and replace. Where we were replacing, we use find and replace for something the other time. We use find and replace for that long string that is into parentheses that we removed. Like now, if you want to change cloud tech to, okay, let me do that. Let me show you guys that. You want to replace now, and you say you want to replace, you want to change from cloud tech, this cloud tech now, you want to change it to, what should we call it? Cloud operations. So select all, we are in home, find and select, replace. So what I want to replace, I want to replace cloud tech, or not even cloud tech, because I'm replacing cloud tech to cloud operations. So if I do that, if I check all of this now, it will replace everything. But I'm not going to do that because I don't know if there's any tech somewhere, if any of these companies is named tech. So what you do is select the only one you want to replace. So you say find, replace, change tech to what? To operations. So you can just replace all. You can see we have made 7 replacements. Close. You can see now that cloud tech has become cloud operations in this column. But that's not what I want to do. I just showed you guys that. Let's go back. So what I want to do is I want to remove blanks. I can do blanks per row and say, let me select this. Let me select blanks per column. Let me select this and go and replace. But no, let's select all. So selecting all, Control A, find and select. You go to special because blank is special. Blank is not a name, it's not a number, it's nothing. Go to special, then you click on blanks. So click on blanks. You can see now that it has selected all the blanks in the data set. And the blanks they're actually 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So what do you want to change the blank as? What are you placing your blank with? Let me replace it with NA. Let me do capital letter NA. You can see that when I type the NA, it showed in a blank. It showed here in a blank here. Now, because you are replacing all the blanks, you don't just press enter. If you press enter, it will replace only that one that you typed. So you click on Control and enter. You guys agree? You can see now that this blank has been replaced, this blank has been replaced, this blank has been replaced, this blank has been replaced. You're good to go on that. Now, the final step, I've looked at all these data. I'm like, what's the final step? What you can do next time, especially when you need big data, if you are just starting new, write all the check and balances, write it down. Have I checked the blank? Have I replaced errors? Have I trimmed it? Have I made it proper? Have I auto fit it? You check all of that. You can write it down, then start checking one by one. So the final thing that is left now is, you can see this value, error. This is a formula because there's no function there. This is just a formula. So formula, error. So what do we do with this formula? How do we make this formula? How do we make it normal? Let me ask that question. So the final one, can anybody tell me how we're gonna make that formula, that error, how we're gonna take away that error from this? What do we do? Does anybody have any idea? How do we make this two errors? How do we make it something else? Because we can't work with error inside our data set. Anybody? Does anybody have any idea? Let me even hear it from you guys. Does someone try? What do we do? How do we make these? How do we make this?
Now we don't have the data.
No, I mean, you're looking at my data. You're looking at my data here with me. You're looking at my screen. And I've sent you guys the data. Just download it from your portal. I sent you guys the data. I mentioned when we started this class that every data set I'm using has been uploaded to your portal. So if you check to this class, data cleaning, an assignment, you will see that that data set there. If you check the last class, you see the data set I uploaded for last class, 4 data sets for the last class, 1 data set for today's class. You can just download it. But I'm not saying guys go help your own. If you look at this one here, this is it here now. I'm saying look at this value. I'm seeing this value here, this value here. I'm seeing this. This is the formula. I16. No, is that I? Yes. I6 divided by H6. I16 divided by H16. That means you are dividing this I by H by this. That means profit over revenue is profit margin. That's profit divided by revenue. So now once we use that formula, this error is here. Now let me just continue. The reason why this error is here is because they're deriving profit by revenue, but there is no revenue here and there's profit here. That is why if dividing this by blank or dividing by NA will give no value. Like there's error there. Just like this now, profit is here, $1,044 divided by NA gives you this. There's error. So this is what you do. Use the sum if. Use the if error function. Use the if error function. So now let's go. So like as usual, you can either go up or let's just do F2 here. Let's do F2. We'll do F2. So, and you know, I told you that anytime you press F2 will show you the reference cells. That's why he's giving these colors. It will show you the reference cells. So we are using if. And now if is a logical statement. If it's saying that if this thing happens, make it this. Now I'm going to use the if error function. This is what you use, the if error function. So if error tab. So if this divided by this, you don't see an answer, comma. So if you divide this by this and there is no answer, what should you replace it by? And this is why you need the quotes, because this is strings. Replace it with NA. Look at it very well. If error, if you divide this by this, comma, and there's an error, because an if error, there's an error, what should you replace that error with? NA. Now let me close. Enter. Then what you do, you fill it. You can see now that this is NA. Now I'm going to make it more complicated so you can see what I'm doing, so that you don't say everything is NA. So let's do F2 again. Let's do F2. So if this is not there, what do I do? Let me go and write a statement. Nothing. Enter. It applies to that. Then you fill it to apply to others. You can see nothing. So whatever you are writing there, whether you are writing not applicable NA or you are writing blank in letters, in strings, whenever you make this and put an if error there, if error simply means that if you do this formula and you cannot find the answer because of one error or the other, replace that cell with whatever I'm typing here. And because it's a string, you put it in quotes. So, and now we've come to the end of cleaning a data set. Now, let me just do a little bit of formatting. Let's make this the headers. Let's make it bold. Yes, can we increase the size if you want? Make it 14 or 15. Yeah, you can decide to fill it. Let's fill it with what we wanted. Let's go with this. So, okay. Now, let me, because now I've made it bigger, so it's bigger. So let me just do Control A, format, auto fit what? Column width. Yeah. So we are done with cleaning these data sets. So let me go back to what I wrote. So we fixed the errors, we fixed the blanks. We did not delete row. What we did, we replaced cell. We replaced cell with NA, because this is too sensitive to delete because this is profit here. So why deleting when there's profit? Alignment, we did the alignment, we did formatting, remove duplicates, corrected any formula that had errors. So we went from this to this. We went from this to this. Now you want to make it, you can go to view. Let's go view. I want to remove the grid lines. Can you see? That's you are removing grid lines. That's just paparazzi. Remove grid lines. Okay, let me remove grid lines. Then let me control all. Let me control all. Let me give it border. Let's insert. Where's my border? Okay, you can insert tables, but I don't want to insert tables. Okay, yeah. This is my border. I want to insert border, bottom, top borders, tick borders. You can do all of that. So some people like it like this. You can see some of the data sets I mean like this. Me, I'm not really a big fan of that. I like it like this. But let me see the rest. So this is it. And let me take questions before I just go through this VLOOKUP that we did last class. So let me take questions. Okay, let me stop my presentation first. So yeah, so if you have questions, your hands, open your mic, and I will take those questions. Then we'll sort that out quickly. If you have questions, I think this is easier than functions of Tuesday. I think this is much easier than functions of Tuesday. Much easier than functions of Tuesday. Just have to do some check and balances. What are you planning to achieve? What are you planning to achieve? Do you want to make sure the formatting is fine? You want auto fit? You want to make sure that you have the proper case? You want to make sure that you are removing the excesses with your find and replace? You want to make sure that you are trimming? You want to make sure that you are doing text to column by separating columns? You want to make sure that you are removing duplicate values? You want to replace blanks? And you want to make sure that your formulas are correct and fine. So do we have any question? I think that's self-explanatory. Is that self-explanatory? Is that fine? want you guys to reply me. Let me listen. Let me hear you guys. So is that fine? Your mics are open, right?
For me, I would say the yes.
Okay. So it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's straightforward and self-explanatory. So let me just quickly run through the functions that we did yesterday. Lookups. Let me just look. I want to show you guys errors in lookups. Let me show my entire screen again. Okay, share. It's your clean data that you visualize. Not that it's your clean data that you will visualize. I save this. Let me just save it. Okay, so let's go to us lookups. Is it lookups or the ifs? Is it lookups? Okay. Okay. All right. So this is a VLOOKUP that we did yesterday. Is there if anyone is on their system right now, check if your Excel has XLOOKUP. If your system has XLOOKUP, let me know. If you are on your system right now, you have checked your system, just click equals to which is your function, check XLOOKUP, or you go here, you click here, go to lookup and reference, scroll down, you should see XLOOKUP there if you have it there. Because this is the entire function list. This right here, underneath font, this right here, underneath font is the functions list. So lookup and reference, select your lookup and reference, scroll down, you can see it. Another thing you can do is just you can click your equals to VXLOOKUP like that. So we did this yesterday on Tuesday. We did it on Tuesday. I'm just gonna run through VLOOKUPs. I'm gonna run through it. It's gonna be a run through. So I want to say seed and customer profession. Seed and customer profession. So we want to know the profession of seed, which if you look at here everywhere is keyboard manager. So very, very easy. Just use your okay. So very easy. So equals to sign, then use your VLOOKUP. VLOOKUP, or tab. What's the next thing? Where is seed here? That's seed. So comma, these are simple lookups. Then your table array, that means your table as F4 to H10. That's the entire thing here. That's it. So comma, which one are you looking at? 1, 2, 3. Where is the seed profession? 1, 2, 3. Third column. Then comma, you want exact match or approximate match. Exact match is 0. Then you close your parentheses. If I press enter now, it will give me something that looks like it. It will give me it anyway. It will give me it. Okay, let me just do describe. So I've done it yesterday. So it will give me here. I see this keyboard manager. Now, if I autofill it, this is where the problem is. It will give me not applicable for this guy. And when you look here, is director of debugging. So I said something yesterday. I said, if you are doing these functions, let me go back to, if you are doing these functions, you make sure that you lock it. Because let me go down. If I go down, F2, if I go down, you can see that this also moved down. If I go down, if I click F2, you can see that it has left where this guy is completely. And that's why it's giving us error. So what you do is, let's go to this. You must lock it. Lock your table array. And what do you do? How do you lock a table array? How do you absolute it? So F4. Anytime you see this $sign, that means the person locked it or absolute table array. So if I click enter, fill it, you have it right. So there you have seed keyboard manager, Ura manager of mischief, Montesanti director of debugging. That means the lookup, the VLOOKUP, you are looking up this reference, customers profession, seed profession in the exact sheet. Now you want to look up from under sheet. You're looking up from under sheet. So this is the lookup. This is the sheet. So I want to know what is the phone number of this guy? What's the phone number of this lady? What's the phone number of this lady? It's here. It's easy to see because it's just few data. If it's the big ones, you will not see it. You don't know what is what or which is which. So just like if they give you the entire local government of Nigeria, give you all the names and ask you that, check this person's name on your data set, or look for these names and look for their phone numbers or their data. You just have to do this. So we have this here now, okay? Or you are looking salary. So the same thing that you do. You have this guy equals to sign. So VLOOKUP tab. Who are you looking for? Looking for this guy here. Comma, you go to your data numbers. What is the array? What is the array? You're looking between this and this. So because you're on another sheet, that's why I have the data numbers up here. So you're done with that. Give it a comma. What is the next thing? You're looking for phone numbers 1, 2. That's 2. Then exact match. You can see now that you have it there. But don't forget, I said anytime you are doing this, anytime you are having this, make sure that you lock it. Make sure you lock it. So if I go this, if I do this now, F2, data numbers. Let me just lock this. F4, enter. So if you fill your autofill it, it's fine. So that's it. So Motsani ends with 7890. You check Motsani here, ends with 7890. So this one ends with what? 5566. Pepperoni 5566. So you go to approximate. Now this is where I said yesterday, I don't know if I think everybody got it. This is where you don't use exact match because this is range. You're using range because these are scores, student scores, and you want to know which grade it is. So there's no 26 in this score. There's no 82 in this score. What we have is range. We have 0, which is a lower number, 55. So if they give you this range, what you do is you create your score, which is the lowest numbers. And remember that all of these things are dynamic. What do I mean by dynamic? You can change this now from seed to Defino. If you do Defino now, Delfino, and you press enter, Delfino will change to Pixel Pusher. You can see. So it's dynamic. You can just change the names there because it's dynamic, because you're not using air, you are using air for it. So if I go to another sheet now, if I say I don't want Motsani number, I want seeds number. So if you change this now, change it to seed, enter, you can see the phone number changed, which is seeds number, which is 50512. 0512. So it's dynamic. So let's go to approximate. So in approximate now, because you're given this, you used the lowest score, 0, 55, 70, 80, 90 for the score to determine the grade. So you're looking for this score now, you're looking for the grade. All these scores, they are not here, they are range. So you don't do, this is the places where you don't do exact match. This is where you do false match. This is not false match, sorry. Exact match is false. So that is where you do approximate match, which is true. So exact match is 0, approximate match is 1. I will do that so I can understand what I'm talking about. Good. What have I done here? Okay, so let's go. VLOOKUP tab. What are you looking for? You're looking for this. This number, that's the score. That's what you're looking for. And you're doing where are you picking it from? You're picking it from here. That's your table array. Remember, lock it before you move at all. Lock it. So F4, lock it. So comma. And what are you looking at? You're looking at 1, 2. You're looking at the score. This is scores. So 2. Now you have to use true, which is approximate match. So if I click true now, you can see. So immediately the grade was E. So you fill it and you can have that there. So if I go here now and I say F2, instead of true, I can just put 1. 1 means true. No, I've been using false since. True means approximate match. And because it's a range of numbers, that's why I'm doing approximate match. It's not the exact thing. If this were to be 55, 70, 70, 80, 90, 55, these exact numbers, we'll have done up. Okay, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. If I say this is 0, 70, 70, 90, 0, 80, 80. If all of this now were inside here, that means if you're going to do this now, we're going to do this. We don't need approximate match. We need exact match. So exact match will work. Now I say this one is not applicable. Why? There's no exact match here. So if you change it to 70, this will work to see. Now you understand why we're using exact and why we're using approximate. If it's exact, that thing must be there. If it's approximate, it's the closest thing to it that is there. So don't get the numbers, the exact and this thing, the false and the true confuse you. They're just doing exact match or approximate match. So for exact match, that's false. For approximate match, that is true. Now this is why I came back to today's class. I wanted to talk of errors. I want to talk about errors. And honestly, if you have been following this class, you are supposed to know why we have some errors here. So all these errors, like common errors to avoid in VLOOKUPs, these are some of the errors. So the first if error. Now let's do this. Let's do what we are doing. What we're doing since. So we still looking for our this thing is to equals to VLOOKUP. So what are we looking for? We're looking for this. What is our array? So F4 to G11. You cannot even work. Let's just go. Let's just go. So let's go like this. Okay. Comma. Colon what? 1, 2. Then exact match. Does anybody know why we have this error? Does anybody know why we have this error? These are errors to avoid. So you can open your mind, open your mind if you know why we have this error here. Why do we have this error? I've said this before. Even I said it to the one I started class. I avoided it. So why do we have this? Why do you think we have this error? Why are we having this error? Anybody? Let me check if I have anybody in my chat box. Yeah, I don't have anyone in my chat box yet. I want to confirm our classes again. Thursday to Saturday. Has it changed? Our classes is Thursday to Saturday now. It has always been Thursday to Saturday. Our classes have always been Thursday to Saturday. The reason why we had Tuesday class was because it was a makeup class for last week Saturday when I had network issues. So I did that class again on Tuesday. For those that were in class, they know. And it was sent to the platform. You guys were informed on the platform that we moved that Saturday class when we were having issues to Tuesday. So it's still Thursday to Saturday as our class is 6 p.m. So I was asking the question if anybody knows why we have this error here. Anybody that be following class, you will know. Anybody? Okay, I will have to answer that. No. I will not answer that myself. Okay, this is what I'll do. I'll answer that myself. Okay, I will answer that myself. I'll do the same formula again for this place. This formula. Okay, let's go again. So
Can I answer? Can I try?
yeah, you can try.
I think when you are doing the formula, from what you said, if you are using a particular data set and there is no a particular variable does not appear in this data set, you should not use exact match. If not, you have an error. So I feel that
Okay.
is correct.
All right, that's nice. But you know, if you look at this ID here, US 4556. You have US 4556 in the data set, so it's not because of the exact match. You get. So let me just answer that question. So of course you mentioned that's why I answered the question, or else I would just have taken that as an assignment. Of course you have answered that. I'll tell you why. If you noticed very well when I was speaking today, and even when I did it on Tuesday, you can check it from here. You can check it from here. Anytime you are looking up a character, or you are looking up a criteria, or you are looking up a value in your data set, in your table, whatever it is, that lookup is always on the left. That is one of the reasons they did SLOOKUP. SLOOKUP will ignore that rule. VLOOKUP will never ignore that rule. So now let's go through everything. Go here, seed, pepon, era, seed, pepon, era. It's always in the first column. Go here, see the names. You're looking at, no, this is not what we look up. We're looking at here. Is the range. We're looking at the range of the scores. So we use this score. We're looking at the range. The first is always on the first. Now look at this very well now. I did not make it the right way. You look at this error 2 now, company ID has come to the left. So this company ID is not supposed to be here. As long as it's here, it will not work. It should be here. Do you understand now? So if I edit this now, if I edit this F2, if I did this, if I look up, you can see that you can see that it's telling me that it's even wrong. So if I look up B4, and I'm going to I'm going here. Let me go here. Let me write that again. So if I look up B4 and I go here, then let me absolute it or let me lock it. F4. So then I'm looking up customer name, which is 2. God. Okay, can you guys hear me?
Yes, you can
Yes,
hear
sir,
you.
we can.
Okay, because I just noticed that it has connected again. So can you still see my
Can
screen?
hear you.
Can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can see it.
Okay, I don't know where it stopped when I
Yes, we can.
disconnected. Let me just go back to Control Z, Control Z. Let me go back to what I'm explaining. So as long as your lookup value is not on the left when you're using VLOOKUP, it will not work. So what I want to do now, if you look at it now, is right here. So let me correct it now. Let me bring it to the left. So I brought it to the left. Let me edit this. So now what do I do now? I have this before, then the range. Let me just remove this. Let me remove this. Let me start from before. So the lookup array, that means the range, everything. So what I did, as usual, we lock it up. So let's lock this up. Then after that, we now pick, okay, which column is your column index number? Notice very well that when you look at underneath it, this is telling you what to do. For those that are not strong yet, they know you are seeing it here. Column index number 1, 2. I'm looking at customer name, so it's 2. My exact value is 0, means exact value. You can see it now that it works. Why? Because this was supposed to be at the left. Now we have gotten that. That is why we had the first error. Now let's go to second error. When we do the second one, we'll do the third error. And I will now send assessments. I intentionally withheld that back so I can do this class. Send it tonight or tomorrow morning. So now another error now. Let's do the same thing. Let's look for this. Okay. Do you have any error in this page? Because I know I created an error there. I'm trying to see if it's. I think it's there. I think it's there. Let's just go. Let's just go. So, it goes to.
Sorry, I can't see your screen. Oh.
It must be your
Are you
network.
sharing your
If you
screen?
can hear me, you can see my screen. It's your
Hello?
network. It's your network. If you can hear me, you can see my screen. Others can see it. Can you see my screen? If you can see my screen, just reply me. Yes, so it's your
I can see your
network. Before you can
screen.
hear me, you can see my screen. If you can't hear me again, that means it's from here. So VLOOKUP now, we're going ID. So, comma, we'll take our lookup range, where we're coming from, what we're trying to achieve. Okay, so let's lock it. Let me lock this. So F4, I've locked it. So what are we looking for? Customer name 2, then comma 0. So blend is there. Now let me fill it because I know I put an error there. Yeah. Can anybody guess why this error is here? I will zoom it in so that you can see it very well. I think I should even work like this for the remaining ones. Can anybody tell me why we have this error here when we have all of this okay? If you can guess, before you tell me that it's not there, this is it here. This is it here. So this is it here. And if I F4 it, let me F4 that lookup. Let me F4 it. So I can F2, sorry. So I can edit. You can see that it's in the right value, not as if the range is wrong. Oh. It's in the right value. It's not as if the range is wrong. Let me put F2 so you can see it here. It's not as if the range is wrong. So the lookup array is correct. So then why do we not have that error there? If you can guess, just guess something. You guys can be wrong. It's okay to be wrong. So why do you think we have that there? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. Just guess something. Just guess something. Why do you think we have that error there? Does someone say something?
Oh, can I
Yeah,
try?
try.
Okay. From the company ID, I think is because 8T4731 is above all other
Okay. All right. I like that. I like
values.
that you're thinking that way. But if let's go back, if you go to this approximate, let's go from the first one. We're looking for Defino. Defino is here. Ura is here. Onsani is here. So the arrangements on the column does not matter. You get, you're trying to say that, okay, because we have this, we have it as the first one, that's the problem. Now, I will not tell you the problem now. Thank you for trying. The problem is so easy to miss. People miss it a lot. Why? This 8T4731 is not the same thing as 8T4731. Why? Let me double click. There is a space in front of one. Sometimes you choose your data and you just work on it and you are getting errors. A space, this space now can cause, I've highlighted it, can cause an error. You think it's the same thing, you think it looks alike. It's not the same thing because there's space here, there's no space here. Because it works with your character. So if I reduce this space here now, because I know there's a space there, normally you will not know. So if I can see, it's okay. Because there's no space in the two. Now let me put space back here. If I put space back here now, can you see? So this 84731, 847 is not the same thing because there's a space there. If you look at it, there's a space here. See that space? If I click it here now, there's a space here. So it says a value is not available to the formula of function. That means you cannot see it. Something is wrong somewhere. And it's that space that caused it. Now, you don't need to go through all of it one by one to know if there's space or there's not, especially when you have an error. This is what you can do. Okay, now there's a function I mentioned or I taught you guys, and I think I still use that function today. What do you think that function is? I need to hear this. I used that function today. I used it in the last class. There's a space there. I want to eliminate that space. Or in my data set, I don't know if there's space somewhere. So I want to not take the risk. I want to eliminate space. Even if I see it or I don't see it. What was the function we used to eliminate that space? Can anybody try? It's okay to be wrong. So can anybody try? What was the function? We used it in today's class, in the beginning. We used it in the last class. In fact, we used it in, I think I used it even in 2 classes ago. So what is that function? There's a function to eliminate space. We always use that function to eliminate space. What is that function? Can somebody try? So we can move on. Try. It's okay to be wrong. Try so we can move on. Okay.
I don't know, but I think that if is it few then make it proper, something like that. I don't know, but it's
okay.
I
You
think
are close. You are close. Proper is to make it capital letter and small letter. That's proper. There was one that I used with proper. There's one that is with proper. That is not proper, but there's one I use with proper. That is to make it the exact size of the characters. Okay. Thank you for trying. So let me just mention it.
I guess it's find and select that.
No, not find and select. Let me just mention it. It's the trim function. The trim function. You remember very well that when we had a lot of space, we used trim to trim it down to the exact characters. We use trim function to eliminate those spaces. So you trim something, to trim something is to make something the same, the size it is. So we are trimming to make it that size. So you can use the trim function in front of this before, because before you want to trim the before. So if you go trim, and remember, because it's two functions now, you have to have two parentheses. So we are trimming what? What are we trimming? We are trimming before. So we are trimming before, which is this. So enter. Now, if I fill it, it's fine now. So we are eliminating errors. So what you removed now is the space by trimming that column. So if you like, if the next one has 1,000 space, if it has 10 spaces, it will still give you that's the correct thing you're looking for. This one. So you guys understood that now. So that is the trim function. Now let me see the last error. I don't remember which error did I put here. All right, so we have this. Okay, this one is obvious. This one is very, very obvious. This one is obvious actually. Let me zoom it. This one is obvious. This one you don't even need to even stress for this one. If you look at it, you can read it very well. We are looking at, okay, let's start. I think by now everybody knows how to use VLOOKUP, or you just go back and go and study again to just know it more. So equals to VLOOKUP tab. Then we have, what are we looking up? We're looking up before in where? We're looking it up here. So like I said, you have to, like this. Lock it. So we have what do we have? Customer name 2, then exact match. All right. So if I do this now, I have that error there. So last thing we are doing today. Where do we think that error is from? I think this one is actually very easy. Look at it very well, you know where it's from. So can someone just tell us where the problem is? Why do we not have this here?
The number is not correct.
Yeah. So the number is not correct because there's a 4 here. There's no 4 here. So the number is not correct. Because we're dealing with something that is very few, we can easily say, let's do 4. It's okay. But no. Now let's do something. Let's do something else. Now let me try to use. Okay, let me go up first. Let me try to use 1, which is approximate match. Approximate match will never give me anything. If you say I want to use approximate match, you see it's everything scalar, so you don't need to use that. This is where I now did. If you have any error in your work and you don't want this error there, that's what I did the last one. That is the if error. So you know the last one now we added the trim function. Now we are adding the if error. The if error is the same thing we used in that data set. We used in this data set. Let me see, where's the data set? It's a clean data set. That's what we used here to do NA. We did if error and we just used the formula. But because we have a function here already, so what you need to do is just add your if error. Let me edit it. Let me use F2. So let me do if error. That's the VLOOKUP. If I do this, if I VLOOKUP this, if I look it up and I'm not seeing it there, what should I do? Let me use not found. Not found. Close it. So do all of this down. It says not found. So sometimes that what you're looking for is not there. I don't want this error on your sheet. Just put the if error in front of the if error, which is the function in front of the VLOOKUP, and you can notice, you cannot very, let me zoom this. No, it doesn't zoom my up, it's just zooming my cells. So let me F2 for here instead. Okay, this is better. So if you look at it very well, the if error has this open parenthesis, which is closed here. You have this open parenthesis in the if error, which is closed here. You have this open parenthesis in the VLOOKUP, that red one, which is closed here. Make sure that whatever function you are doing, your parenthesis, which is that open bracket, the curved open bracket, must be closed. So you cannot have parentheses, you cannot have 3 parentheses. That means it's not closed somewhere. You either have 2, 4, you get, or more in 2s. Make sure if you remove this now, if I remove this now, sometimes it helps me correct the whole thing. So it said, yeah, it doesn't argument for this function because it sees this as an argument. So let me go and close this. Where am I? Oh, not here. It's here. So if you look up, so closed it. So that's the end of today's class. I'll send an assignment tomorrow morning that you guys need to do. So I'll send a data set to clean and just some few questions to answer. So that's the end of today's class. I'll check my Excel to make sure it's the latest version because I don't know what's up. So to make sure I can use XLOOKUP tomorrow and we'll continue the class. Do we have any question before we go today? Remember, today's class was actually for data cleaning. We have done data cleaning, and I told you the simplest way to do it is just to outline the things you need to clean, things you need to change, things you need to edit, and things you need to remove, so that I can tick them one by one. As simple as that. And you fix it. Fix the formatting, fix the errors, fix the blank spaces, fix the duplicate value, fix the errors, do the proper strings that are used proper for it, proper function, and do trim, do all of that.
Not really, sorry, not really question, but I want to make an passionate appeal concerning the first assignment you give on the first week. I could not be able to do it because I'm having problem to access my portal. Please,
Okay.
I don't know if you could give me the grace to redo it and access it now.
Please come again with that question. I missed that.
I could not be able to do my assignment the first week.
The first week assignment. Okay.
Yes.
All right. I will let you know if that was considered. If you disconsidered, you will know. You will see it open by tomorrow. The assignment. You get.
All right.
All right. So Festus, do you have something to ask? Questions? Festus, if you don't have a question, drop your hand. Your hand is still raised and down.
I would like to ask, is it possible to execute 2 functions at the same time?
Yes, we just did examples of those. We just use VLOOKUP and if error. We have done if and sum. We have done sum ifs. We have done all of that. You can do multiple functions together.
Okay.
You can. Right. Any other question? All right. So it's been an amazing ride. I think data cleaning is easy. I think you guys are getting more. You're getting a hang of functions. Just know that if you don't know those functions, if you don't know them, there's this line under that will tell you what to input next. And the more you use functions, the more you get used to them anyway. So there's this line under that will tell you table array, criteria 1, criteria 2, table array, false match, or this value error. You will see it down. So you can just follow those prompts to do your functions. So Thank you for attending today's class. We'll see you tomorrow, Friday, the same time by 6 p.m. And you see your. I'm sure you guys have gotten your grade for the first assignment. So I'll drop the next one, which was for week 2. I'll drop it on the platform tomorrow, so you guys can just do that. Have a week to finish that too, and we'll go from there. So for those that don't have Excel, the latest version, you can update if you can. If not, just use VLOOKUP. If not, use your XLOOKUP. Hope you will load today's class lessons so that, like it was mentioned, just wait for 24 hours. Within 24 hours, the class lesson will be up. The other ones are up already. The last one you can see started with when we started the trim and stuff like that. Last one is up already, so it will be up. Then you get my proper slides too on the platform, and the class recordings to it be on the platform. So have a wonderful night, what a wonderful evening. Stay safe.